David Hochberg joins us now. Team Hochberg is 855-56-DAVID, 56david.com. We got a hybrid David Hochberg. He's in the car now. He'll be up in a second. How you doing, man?
Hi, David.
I'm good. Balls in the Air was the name of my high school garage band, by the way.
Oh, my God. Who the hell cares?
Funny.
Throw that out there. Ironic Masters.
All right, so we've got an inflation number which popped higher than expected. Does this give the Fed an excuse not to cut rates now?
Yeah, the same Fed that said that inflation was transitory, the same Fed that said that we're going to have a soft landing, the same Fed that stood up there in December and said he's going to do 3 rate cuts, and then some geniuses said 6 rate cuts. Now all the experts, quote-unquote experts, are saying that we'll be lucky to get 2, and it's just so confusing. I try to consume as much financial information as I can to stay up on the changes that are happening so rapidly. You've got experts from different companies that are gigantic companies saying, yeah, we're going to have a rate cut in June, probably after the election. You got another guy saying, yeah, we're probably not going to have any rate cuts this year. And then you've got a guy from Citigroup saying, yeah, we're going to, we're heading for a recession. I'm just like, my God, even the experts don't know what the hell's going on. Last time I was on, he asked me a question about economists, and I'm just like, I forgot what I said, but it wasn't very positive about, economists. All these experts have no freaking clue until the data comes out, and it's so confusing because it changes so rapidly every single second of every single day.
So 2 rate cuts instead of 4 is the difference between a half point and a full point, right?
Yeah, well, it depends what the guy does. Who the hell knows?
But there's a mental thing that goes on. There's an emotional mental thing that goes on if it's a point lower than instead of a half point.
100%. Listen, a half a point's better than a quarter. A full point's better than a half a point, right? And what does that equate to for our listeners, right? Mm-hmm. Why should they give 2 beans? Number one, your consumer loans will be lower. Your home equity line of credit will be lower. Your credit card interest rates will be lower. The mortgage rates will change ahead of whatever the Fed does. Okay, I mean, we had the 10-year, without getting too technical, the 30-year fix is based upon the 10-year bond. We had the 10-year down to 3.8 at a couple of months back. Now we're back at 4.5. So, I mean, we've picked up a quarter of a point in the 30-year fix, 3/4 of a point, almost a full point.
But that's it. But that's just it. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense.
Nothing
makes sense for us, David.
No, bonds
makes sense.
Bonds are trading now. When interest rates go up, bonds are a great place to be. Mm-hmm. But bonds are trading now like the rate hikes are definitely coming. What's going on with gold?
Gold's up too. Gold is a hedge against inflation, right? I just saw the 10-year just opened up today at 4.56. So we're up 75 basis points from a couple of 6, 8, 10 weeks ago. All right. So
bonds and gold are like rate hikes are going up, but then there's housing prices.
Housing prices continue to go up. It's absolutely insane.
It doesn't make any sense.
Crazy.
I mean, it makes no freaking sense. We've got our phones are ringing off the hook from listeners buying homes. I'm like, they're like, what's the rate? I'm like, it's going to be in the 7s. They're like, all right. It doesn't faze them anymore. Because they know whatever they buy today, if and when this thing does slow down, and it's got to slow down eventually. You can't keep riding. It's just look at the charts, right? Nothing stays this strong for this long.
But you've been saying that for a long time.
I understand. Listen, I've been in it. I've been at the tip of the spear. Don't need to remind me. Okay, 30 months. Seeing these rates go up, come down, up and down, up and down. Everybody's like, "Hey, how'd you like to sponsor this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take a pass this year." Right? I'm like, there's the industry doesn't make any sense. Even I've been doing this for 23 years. Doesn't make any sense. I've spoken to men and women who've been in this industry for 30 years. Doesn't make any sense to them either. All of the indicators are going the wrong way. Okay, so
and again, gas prices go up in the summer, but gas prices are jumping now, and that doesn't add up.
They're jumping now. Rates are jumping now. That was why the CPI was up yesterday, right? The two major factors of that were fuel and housing. Okay, and it doesn't make sense. So if you're trying to figure this out and you need a place to live, you've got three options. Mm-hmm. Number one, you move in with your parents. Okay. Number two, you go get a rental, and the rental's going to continue to go up because the rent prices continue to go up. Or you buy a place now and you lock into whatever you can lock into because your home price that you pay for your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is going to be equal to or pretty damn well close to what your adjusted rate would be after you take out all your deductions. Talk to your CPA. I'm not a CPA. I can't give tax advice. Okay, I get out of that legal challenge. So, it's going to be adjusted for what you're going to pay for rent. All right? So unless you want to live in your parents' basement, which is nothing wrong with living in your parents' basement, okay, buying a home is probably your best option against the increasing in the rent numbers. It's just, I'm telling you.
It's going to kill him. It's going to kill him. It's going to kill Hochberg.
It's going to kill Hochberg.
It's going to kill Hochberg.
Where are we getting all the money from?
Well, that's just it. Where's it coming from and why? How can companies continue to give credit to people who can't pay it back? I'm not talking about houses here. I'm talking about the credit card debt and, the student loan stuff that's going on as well.
We're still spending.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. David Hochberg, are you anywhere near the NBC Tower?
Yeah, I'm parked right in front over by Egg Harbor. I'm gonna hang up.
Yeah, come on up.
Come on up. Get in here.
Come on.
Well, I gotta get out of my car.
All right, shut up. Say bye. Okay. I just told a client to shut up.
It's David.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I think you hung up on him, too.
It's still David.
Shut up.
Yeah, just shut up and walk up.
What do you say? It's going up and down and up and down, just like David's heart rate and blood pressure.
But it doesn't add up.
It
just
doesn't.
All the things that make sense.
Doesn't
the
make
yin
sense.
and the yang, the magnet thing. You hold two magnets together, they push each other apart. Opposite, the things that are supposed to happen. Things in motion tend to cause other things to go in motion, but not in the motion they're going, Jane.
Makes sense, Steve. Please help us.
NTM, Toto.
Everybody breathe.
Let's take a cleansing breath before Hochberg comes in here and frustrates us.
Hopefully he's breathing.
Yeah. No, this is information you need to know. I'm glad he's here to talk about it. I don't have to tell David Hochberg. That's Mr. 305 right there.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You guys are moving great, too. I didn't know you can dance so well, David.
You should see the special moves after like 11:30 at night.
Mics are on, David.
Oh, sorry.
I loosened my hips when I was out in Tucson. I had them loosened by an ancient Native American who came out of the brush,
Great.
and he gave me a hip loosening sort of thing that I did. So my hips have never been looser.
Do they feel good?
And then he disappeared into another cactus. It was very strange. One of the things I have in the desert I forgot about? Jumping cholla.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping cholla are cactus balls that literally jump and attach to you.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, and as I mentioned on stage...
So don't let that happen when you're not wearing slacks.
And as I mentioned on stage, if you have cactus balls, get to a clinic as fast as you possibly can.
Jumping cactus balls.
Cactus balls.
Another reason not to golf. Okay, so that's...
we were talking about the current nonsensical nature of money. What about the stock market?
Well, it took a little bit of a shot yesterday, right? So I think it was off 400 or 500 points yesterday. And again, anytime that they anticipate rate cuts, the stock market gets better because money's cheaper and people have more money to invest. So when the CPI came out better, the consumer price index came out better than what they expected, the traders factored in that this means that the Fed is not going to be cutting rates in the future, and there was a sell-off. So, listen, that doesn't make any sense either, okay? So it's just been on an absolute tear as the rates have been going up. Typically, Steve is right. As the rates go up, people take money out of stocks, put it into the security of bonds because you got a fixed investment. You put it into treasuries, and the treasuries are the safest investment on the planet, at least up to this date right today. And then when the rates start dropping, people take money out of bonds and move it over to the stock market. But that hasn't happened, right? Rates have gone up, but the stock market's been a runaway drunken freight train.
Well, then here's another one, because, Jane, you brought this up in the break. A investment tool that's misunderstood that you deal with all the time, and what is the value of it now in the middle of this nonsense?
The reverse
right?
mortgage.
Yeah.
So reverse mortgage is not what it used to be. Reverse mortgages can be good if you have enough equity in your home. Is that a good option for some people?
Reverse mortgages are the best product on the planet next to a VA loan, in my personal professional opinion. It has the most negative connotation out there because people don't understand what it is. You own your home. The federal government doesn't own your home. So these are the pushbacks that I get. I don't want the federal government owning my home. Federal government, if you haven't noticed, got their hands full. Okay, and number one, if you take out a regular Fannie Freddie loan, you own the home. The federal government doesn't own it. Fannie Freddie doesn't. VA, FHA, USDA, they don't own the home. You own the home, so you still own the home. Number two, I want to leave my kids money when I die. Okay, that's great, but you need an extra $2,000 a month right now to survive. And you want to eliminate $1,000 or $1,500 mortgage payment, which you can with a reverse mortgage if you qualify. Mm-hmm. All right. So is Johnny and Sally and Susie and Pete stepping up and writing mom and dad an extra $500? Dropping 500 Benjamins in their account every single month? No. Okay, then guess what? When you die or when you move, all of that money that's left will be left to your kids. If your kids aren't stepping up now, you have to take care of yourself, and if you got a ton of equity in your home. So these are the conversations we're having every single day. We're literally getting 1 to 2 reverse mortgage inquiries every single day. Why? Because I'm pounding the airwaves with success stories that we've had and that we've helped and changed the lives of experienced homeowners that have outlived their assets, can't make it on $1,234 worth of Social Security. It's tax-free income. You could do whatever you want. Are they expensive? Yeah, but what's the alternative? Okay, they are a little more expensive than your traditional Fannie Freddie loans, but what's the alternative? You got a chance here to eliminate a mortgage payment and gain access to money out of your home tax-free, and you don't have to pay it back.
And then you can also, let's say you decide to do this, you qualify for it, you have enough equity, and then you're like, you know what, let's move. You can still sell your home. Sell
your home, pay off the reverse mortgage, and whatever the equity's there, it's your home. I had a guy over the weekend call into my show. He's like, yeah, I'm thinking about, I'm 65 years old. I just sold my house here, $300,000. I'm disabled. I'm moving to Florida. Okay, great. You've got $300,000. I'm like, what are you going to be buying in Florida? You got a $300,000 home. So we ran the numbers real quick. He could buy a home with the reverse mortgage, put $200,000 down, live there. He's got $6,000 a month fixed income for the rest of his life due to his Social Security disability and his pension and his retirement. He won't have to make a mortgage payment, but he brings in $200,000 out of the $300,000 that he cleared. He's still got 100 G's. He's got no mortgage payment. Got to make taxes and insurance and lives rent free.
And for those of you who go, I'm going to live my life. It's not my fault. Politics are screwed up. I'm going to mortgage everything. I'm going to put everything on a credit card. That bill's going to come due.
Oh my God!
And when it comes due, you also can't count on politicians to bail you out. So you got to be a grown up in this process. And if you don't understand the seriousness of this and the numbers, because this summer is going to be wacky. Financially as it is politically. And we don't know which way it's going to go between now and Election Day. We don't know what's going to happen after Election Day.
It's going to be a wild ride.
So what about the realtor's role in this?
The realtor's role is out there to inform and just provide market knowledge as to what's happening. If you ask any realtor right now, they are short inventory. They've got buyers lined up ready to go. And they don't have any inventory right now. You're within 90 days of your kid walking down the aisle to get their diploma. We're probably within 75 days. So if you don't want to live in that house and you're paying $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 worth of real estate taxes because you don't have to because your kid's not in the school anymore, now's the time to call the realtor. You'll have that house sold. You'll get a 60, 75-day closing window. You've got the hammer right now because there's no inventory. And I'll tell you, the other calls I'm getting, Steve, are from realtors whose mortgage professionals are no longer in the business. We had a 60% flush out due to rates and mortgage professionals. So this is a shout out to all the realtors listening. I've been meeting with at least 2 a week. If you want to grab a coffee or have a sandwich and talk about the opportunities of what we could do for you and help you close more loans for your buyers, we'd love to have the opportunity and help your current homeowners who are loaded with debt that are seeking your advice as to what your home's paid for, if they might be able to refinance in the future. We've got programs that could help them too. So shout out to all the realtors out there. If you're interested in having a coffee break and a sandwich, breaking bread and talking about the opportunity so we could help you and your buyers and sellers in the future, I'd love to have the opportunity to sit down with them.
All right, and it is 855-56-DAVID, 56david.com for Team Hochberg. He can also explain to you what discount points are. And
what a joke.
And bait and switch mortgage scams and all
joke.
those things that are out there. We don't say that just because you're a friend and that we're clients of yours. We say it because we know you're the best.
Well, you know why the discount points are up? I printed this out. The CFPB, I know we got to hit a break, so I'll do it quick. The CFPB, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, which is basically the FBI of overall consumer-related topics, finance and everything, is looking into why people are paying more discount points. Well, they're paying more discount points, CFPB, because the head of the FHFA, Sandra Thompson, jacked up the costs, which I talked about on the show in nauseum a couple of years ago, to close loans. So in order to get a loan, it's now more expensive and people are paying discount points. So this is like the fire inspector coming in to ask the fire department why you're lighting houses on fire. Okay, I mean it, and not that Chicago Fire Department doesn't do that. I'm just using that as an example, right? It just doesn't make any sense what's going on here, and I'm
and he'll tell you the truth.
You were so good. You were so good. Calm up until the very end.
14 people. 14 people on the express lanes working today. When's IDOT coming in, and when could I come in for that interview? 14.
I don't think I saw a court order that said you and IDOT can't be in the same room until after the construction is
10
finished.
miles, 14 people. Jackhammers. Get a bobcat with the cement pick on there.
556 David. 56 David.com.
We got another 6 months to go. I can't
Very
wait.
good.
You'll be fine.